Live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now. Appreciate all of you being here with us. This is our live streaming show where we get to talk about a lot of different things, whether that's breaking news or really cool events and wine. That's what we're going to talk about here today. We all know that Northwest has amazing wine, and we're going to talk to one of the founders of Chosen Family Wines here in just a second, because you're going to get a chance to actually go do some wine tasting with him. I'm going to bring him on to talk all about it. He is a former Portland Trailblazer and an NBA champion. Those two things didn't happen at the same time, but nonetheless, he is still here with us.
I wish.
I know, I wish too.
Amazing.
That would have been awesome. But nonetheless, it's Channing Frye. Channing, how you doing?
Man, I'm good. It's been such a busy summer. You know, it was, I sent out a tweet about 2 weeks ago when it was 90, you know, and I grew up in Arizona. So I was like, am I getting soft? I was in my basement, like laying on the concrete because I was so hot, but it's been beautiful. And amazing, but I'm excited for this next 4 or 5 days coming up.
Yeah, you've got a lot going on with it. And, you know, with that, though, I kind of want to go back to the beginning because I want to learn a little bit more about Chosen Family, because I think it's a really interesting origin story of how this got started. Tell us about how this all got going.
Well, I think it started when I first met my wife. You know, I grew up in Arizona and I never had an opportunity to really understand wine or even visit a vineyard. So when I came out here, she introduced me to some amazing places out there, Domaine Druin, Bergstrom, Christum, those type of places. And for me, it just became less about wine and more about the camaraderie. And then during the pandemic, you know, even before that, I felt like that was the thing that was going to be my thing after basketball. So, you know, I love my family. I love spending time with them. And it's the reason why I retired. And so for something to take me away from them, it has to be important. And they've been super supportive. So it's been really just trying to share the industry, share the memories and feelings that I've got, the times that I've been out there. Right? I've never not had a good time going wine tasting, whether it's beautiful day or not a good day. It doesn't matter. The wine's always delicious. The stories are great. And, you know, to be a part of this industry now and be 3 years in has been, it happens quick.
Well, and I mean, I think, you know, going from discovering wine there through your wife and learning to enjoy it and going wine tasting, that's one thing. But then deciding to, like, I want to get in the industry, that's a whole bigger move. So what made you want to, like, jump into that side of it?
I think it was my perspective on it. I think, you know, a lot of times there are so many amazing stories in the wine industry, like in the Willamette Valley, just starting with the Willamette Valley. And I felt like for me, my biggest joy was sharing those stories, right? Not only sharing mine, because mine couldn't just be chosen because it only came about 4 years ago, but talking about the stories of Granville and Longfellow, and those types of places. So for me, it's been awesome to share these opportunities to tell their stories, to talk about their wine, and take it across the country. So myself, and as you see, Taquette and Joe in these pictures, and Chase and several other owners, we just want to share wine. We want to share the experience about it, the conversations and the empathy, and just have good times.
So what was the first wine that got you in?
Oh, boy.
If there was
You know what?
one.
I never drank a Chardonnay until my wife introduced me to Bergstrom, right? So Bergstrom, they are some of the nicest human beings on earth. And it was one of their better wines, Sigrid. It was a gift. And after that, I was hooked on Chardonnay. And now, you know, this is obviously 10, 11 years ago, 12. God, how old am I? It's just been so much fun to learn, right? And that humility of understanding, like, as much as I have, and I'm looking at 10 wine books here, right? As much as I think I know I don't know enough. And that humility, when you comes to wine, makes it fun because I'm so ready to learn and just listen, right? And that's the biggest thing about wine, is listening to people and how they feel and what they think about it.
I think that's a really good attitude, because I think for some people, wine could be intimidating. You know, there's so much to know. I mean, it's so diverse and all the different, you know, understanding all the different flavors and everything else that goes into it. But you still find it fascinating to keep on learning. And I think that's great, because it probably encourages other people to be like, oh, okay, I don't know as much as Channing Frye, but I can still go out and try some wine tasting and learn as I go along.
Absolutely. You know what it is? Stop trying to get into that part and take it like this. I want to spend time with you. I want to do something where you and I will have this moment, right? This liquid moment, whether we're looking over, Eola Amity or Dundee Hills, or we're on the coast, or we're in the Rogue Valley. It's less about the wine and more about spending time with you and connecting. I think, especially since the pandemic, we're now getting back to that. But I always remember how there was a piece of me missing, that I couldn't hang out with my friends. What are y'all doing? Doing Zooms all the time isn't bad, but that's not how we live as humans. So the connective tissue of our being is connecting, right? And I know that's a lot of connecting, but
no, it makes sense.
And so for me to connect with my friends is, hey, let's just open a bottle of wine that neither one of us know. We may like it, we may not, but it's us spending time together. I think if you start with that, the rest of it will come. So don't think of wine as this snooty thing. Think of wine as something that you get to share with somebody that you care about.
And have an experience together.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, I've got some more questions too that I've got to ask here at the end, but I want to talk. I got to ask you though. We'll talk about the tasting that is going on. So, what is it like for you to go out there, and share this wine with other people, watch them experience it? What is that experience like for you?
I think, going into the NBA and looking at people or players that I've seen be all-stars 10 years straight, or, MVPs. And for me, especially when it comes to Pinot Noir, which is my favorite varietal, my favorite type of grape, to be one of the highlighted wineries at the International Pinot Noir Convention is huge. Like, I would have never thought about that. Like, we work just to share wine, to share our experiences and help people enjoy their time away from their kids or even with their kids. And so for me, to be able to share this wine is more of an ode out of respect to them, but also it's me sharing the joy that I've got from the wine industry and the memories, and not wanting to keep it to myself, but wanting to share this with everyone and anyone who's willing to listen.
I love everything that you just said right there. I mean, that's exactly, having a good experience and sharing it with other people and enjoying it. You're making it seem very unintimidating to go out there.
It is not intimidating. I promise you.
I know I keep bringing that up.
No. I get it, because a lot of it's a different language, but if you're trying to learn that language, if you go in like, hey, we're just going to have a good time today. And if I learn one thing today, I learned one thing. But other than that, you're drinking alcoholic juice. You're going to eat good. You're going to drink good. You're going to be outside. You get to wear comfy clothes. And you just get to sit and chill on a rocking chair and let people dote on you and pour stuff in your glass. Like, it's the best experience, man. And that's what I want to share. And each of us tell our own story about how we see the Willamette Valley. So whether it's my story or someone else's, we just want to share our love for it.
Love it. Let me ask you this. So going back to the NBA side of things. So CJ McCollum joined the show. This was about a month ago, talking about his winery and getting into it and his story of that. I think it was his wife as well that got him into it originally.
It was.
But one thing that CJ said on there, and this is what I want to ask your opinion. CJ claimed that he has a top 5 wine palate when it comes to NBA current or former players. I want to know your response to that, and where do you think your palate lands if there were a ranking?
Dude, that's hard. I wouldn't top 5 CJ. So here's how I rank mine. NBA players have disposable income that a lot of not regular people have. So if you just buy the 1% of wine and that's all you drink, that doesn't mean you have a good palate. To me, that's not it. Show me the players that I respect will go get a $30 Spanish wine that is just as good as the $300. That's having a palate. Now, those guys are few and far between because it takes time to dive into that. But I would say on my top 3 or 4 would be CJ would be top 10. I don't know if he's top 5, but I would go JJ Redick, Kevin Love, Tobias Harris, Jimmy Butler, Braun, Then I put CJ, Mello, Dwayne Wade. I forgot about him. Shoot. I know I'm missing somebody. Did I already say TJ McConnell?
Yeah.
Maybe Mo Harkless. Oh, Josh Hart. Sorry. Skip Mo Harkless, Josh Hart. Those
Josh
are the
Hart.
guys that I know love wine, and not just like, oh, I'm trying to show off, but they read books, they're into it. And really, I think they're the players that are going to help transform this industry for the better and make it not as intimidating as what everyone thinks. If I
Right.
can go from basketball to wine and learn and be this energized about it, I think a lot of other people can too.
Talking about doing that, making that switch, being energized about this, and just where you're at right now. Like, what is it you're looking forward to with Chosen Family? I mean, beyond the tastings, like, what are you looking forward to on the horizon when it comes to wine?
You know what? The big tell about your not only your authenticity, your authenticness, right? Authenticness,
It
right?
works.
Or whatever. I went to Arizona. It's not a education.
I went to
schools of
Oregon
basketball.
State, so yeah, it's good.
Oh yeah, we're in the same boat.
Yeah.
Um, for me, it's about longevity, right? I do this because I want my kids to have an opportunity not only to work for Chosen, but to be a part of that next future, right? To be that second generation vintner, right? So I'm not the winemaker. I work with 6 different winemakers to tell each one of their stories and to tell the story of the Willamette Valley. So longevity is my championship, right? And I always keep this ring, and I know this is weird. I always keep this really close to me because I remember it took me 11 years, not including high school, college, second grade, all the way to playing basketball in second grade to get to one championship. So for me to be able to look at that and think it took me that long to win a championship it is making me have the patience to continue to want to be successful in this industry year after year.
Wait, can you show us that one more time? Did you have the ring
Oh,
right
sorry,
there?
sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
This thing.
there it is.
It's pretty. People are like, "Do you wear it?" And I'm like, "No, this is like wearing a car, a small key on your finger." No, thank
Seriously.
you.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
no,
that's a
no.
lot
And
of
it's
hard
not
work
to
to get
brag.
that.
It just is. It's about work, right?
Yeah.
It's about am I going to work? Am I studying? Am I trying to be? Are we trying to be the best at what we can do? Right? Are we telling the story correctly? Are we marketing enough? Are we being inclusive enough? Right? Are we putting out the right message to settle wine down and allow people to just come and experience it without having the pressure of having to learn everything all the time.
Right. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the experience of it.
Exactly.
And that's what you've got going on coming up here. I guess one final question too, and just relating to the fact that you brought up Willamette Valley so much, and and just we're here in Oregon. What is it about this area that you think keeps you coming back here and being here, and also helps with? I guess let's go there. What is it about Oregon that keeps you coming back?
Well, I never left. So I think
that's what I thought. I didn't want to say.
I never left, right? It's almost 19 years in, or 17 years in. So you round up, again, U of A education. For me, it's the people. I think one thing that I've always appreciated, no matter how much I travel, is coming back to Portland. People from Portland, people who love this city, want the best for it. They are fiercely competitive, and not competitive, but fiercely engaged emotionally when it comes to, is something clean? Are we doing what's best? Is this authentic to Portland? And I absolutely appreciate that. Number 2, I'm driving around with my top off in my truck, and we get to live in a forest. Like this is so rare in the world. Whether, people like the beach, people like the desert, people like the city. I love having an opportunity to just go walk in a forest 5 miles down the road. I don't take that for granted. And then also, like, it's not hard to get anything, right? What do you want? It's 20 minutes to the airport. Do you want wine country? It's 48 minutes. Do you want the coast? It's an hour and 20. Do you want breweries, restaurants, artists? Do you want waterfalls, caves, hiking? I think that's the biggest thing that I love about Oregon is that whatever I feel like, it's not that far away. Like to go to high country, like it reminds me of Arizona, I just drive 3.5 hours to like Black Butte, right? And now I'm in a whole different world. So for me, Oregon has really taken a big chunk of my heart. But it starts with the people, because since I've been here, everyone has been above board, awesome folks.
Wow. Well, Channing, thank you very much for joining us here to talk about this, too. The only thing I wish is that there was a pinwheel on that ring. Otherwise, that's nothing to do with you.
Listen, I think, before I get off, I would hope people get an opportunity to, I think there's still some tickets to come out to IPNC. We have a pop-up tomorrow at Hi-Fi out in McMinnville. We're going to be pouring all our wines, so we don't have a tasting room. So for us, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays are a big day. So check out chosenfamilywines.com. We do a lot of tastings in the city: Cafe Rowan, Groshow Cellars, Han Oak, Jeju. But yeah, check us out, man. We're just trying to have you have a great time and enjoy some delicious wine.
That's what more could you ask for than that right there?
Perfect.
I mean, that's
Nothing.
perfect. Channing, thank you so much for joining us here
man.
today.
Appreciate
Really, really
you.
appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
Dude, this is awesome. And I know I got to wrap it up, but I thank everybody, too, for joining us here. This is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is our live streaming show. We're going to do this every weekday. We start at 1 p.m. Pacific. We'll bring you breaking news if that's happening. We'll bring you great interviews like we just had, covering anything you can think of. You can always send me an email, fox12now@kptv.com. If you have an idea for a segment, let me know what that is. And you can catch all of the rest of our videos on our YouTube channel for Fox 12 Oregon. So go there and check all those out. But I'm going to sign off for right now. I'll be back here tomorrow at 1 p.m. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.